Hey, today, part 2 of the video. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then you missed part 1, which came out yesterday. Or, if you're watching this in the future, then someday in the future. There's another part to this video that came right before it. It'll be linked below. So, hit that one up after you watch this one. Here we go! And I think I may have solved this problem. Keep watching to find out how. Here we go! The download queue bug. Now, as most of you might know, there's 2 different versions of the PlayStation 5 console. The one I have is the physical or the disc edition, where you can play HD Blu-ray discs, PS4 discs, PS5 discs. The other option is a digital console, all digital, no disc. And most of us will know that there's a PlayStation Store online where you can buy games digitally and download them straight to your console. A lot of people have been buying games on the PlayStation Store and going to download them to their hard drive, and they press the download button and it's stuck. It says queued for download, and it just stays on that screen and stays for minutes. If they left it, it would have stayed for hours. This is a bug that a lot of people have had, unfortunately. Some people, like me, went back into the PlayStation Store after they found this bug to see if they could hit the download button again, to maybe force it to start. And then they saw on that game page that they had to buy the game again? I don't know of anyone that actually did buy the game again, as in paying twice. I don't know if it was possible, but it wouldn't have helped. You wouldn't have been able to download. I saw this with Mortal Kombat 11 Ultimate Edition. I purchased the game about a month ago on my PlayStation 4 Pro, and I wanted to come in on the PlayStation 5 and download the PlayStation 5 upgrade for it, but I saw that I was supposed to pay for the game again, and I was thinking, no, that can't be right, and if it is right, I'm not paying for it again, that's for sure. So, I guess at this point in the video, the question is there a real fix for this? No. So, I've got workaround fixes for you. The first one is to go back into safe mode, rebuild the database. This is completely safe. When you rebuild the database, all it does is pick up all the pieces that have fallen out of place, puts them back together. Does not wipe any software, you don't lose any save progress or anything like that. All your games are still there on the hard drive. It just kind of reorganizes itself, I think. The next one, unfortunately, from the safe mode, is resetting the console to factory settings. Now this one, you will lose all your progress. You'll lose all your save progress and you'll lose all the games off of your hard drive. It's a complete wipe of the hard drive and starting fresh. If you have tried the first option, which is rebuilding the database from safe mode, and it's still giving you issues, I would urge you to try rebuilding the database a few more times. One person I saw had to rebuild their database 3 times, and then everything was fine. I personally wouldn't want to do a factory reset if I had downloaded some games and had some save progress on some of these games on the hard drive. It would be really irritating if I had to do that. So I would definitely recommend trying to rebuild the database a few times if you can. You decide what's enough. If it's 2, 3, 5 times, that's up to you to figure out. Otherwise, this might be your only option. It feels like I'm just trying to get different angles and light settings and stuff in this video now. Your PS4 games are unplayable on the PS5. That's not a statement. That's me saying some people are having this issue. I'm not trying to scare you that you can't play your PS4 games on the PS5. I guess that's clear. Okay, so like my experience with Mortal Kombat 11 Ultimate on the PlayStation Store, where I went to it to download it and I saw, hey, I have to buy this again? I didn't think that was right. I wasn't going to be buying that game again, that's for sure. So this is how I fixed it. This is how you restore game licenses on the PlayStation 5 from the PlayStation 4. We're going back to settings. Let's go to users and accounts. And then we're going to go down to other and restore licenses. I want to restore. Here we go. It says 1 second left. All right, license is restored. And that was that. Okay, here's a big one. Now, we know the storage on the PS5 is limited. One big thing they were talking about, which brings us into next-gen gaming, is the SSD, which is the solid-state drive, or kind of like the hard drive. What's able to store the operating system and all the games and everything that we need to play these games on the system, on this console. This SSD is limited in size. They created this SSD to be very fast and to have us enjoy the features of next-gen gaming. Now, that SSD is limited. Its full size is 825 gigabytes, which is not huge. Once you open the box, turn on the console, install the updates, it actually comes out to be just over 666 gigabytes. If the number of gigabytes, 666, isn't an indication of the times that we're living in right now, then I don't know what is. One Reddit user named Dello512 posted that he was using a 1 terabyte SSD through USB external drive on the PlayStation 5 when his system crashed and corrupted. So what he did is he went into safe mode and rebuilt the database. And he had to do that 3 times for the console to be working fully again. If you saw my previous video on the PlayStation 5 fan, we know when we open it up, there is an extra bay for an extra SSD storage unit to be installed on the PlayStation 5. Now, it's available right now. You could put one in, an M.2 NVMe SSD, but currently the firmware is not supporting any NVMe SSDs in that spot. So if you were to put something in there, it wouldn't even be read just yet. Sony is waiting for compatible drives to be released. I don't know if Sony's going to be releasing them or if they're going to be waiting for someone like Seagate, Western Digital, or who knows who. But currently, we're waiting on that news. So for now, people are going to be using their external hard drives. People have external hard drives that they were using on their PlayStation 4, for example. Like, I have this Seagate game drive, which is a 4 terabyte external hard drive, but this is just going to be plugged into a USB port. With games ranging from an average of 50 to 100 gigabytes per game, and even some games like the Call of Duty, I think it's Modern Warfare or something, being over 225 gigabytes, that available 666 gigabytes is not going to last long at all. I've run into the hard drive full error a few times already, let's just say that. So you can understand why we'd be trying to expand our available memory with external drives. How do we fix this? A lot of people are having issues with external drives, plugging them into the USBs and getting errors, crashes, corrupts. What do? What is the fix? I can tell you that the fix didn't come from Sony. We know that there's 4 USB ports on the PlayStation 5 console right now. There's 2 USB 3 ports on the back of the console, and on the front there's 1 USB-A console, and there's a USB-C port on the front. Now, Dello512 confirmed that if he was using either of the 2 back USB ports, that was when he was having issues. Many other people reported this as well. So the fix, he says, is to use one of the 2 front USB ports. PlayStation, in their booklet that the PlayStation comes with, recommends you using the front USB-C port only if you're going to be using external drive. They say you can use the front USB-A port, but they recommend you using the USB-C port on the front. So that's the fix. Don't use the 2 back USB ports. If you're taking it from me, my recommendation is only use the USB-C port on the front. Sony, are you there? Fix your consoles. So that's the fix. Plug your external hard drives into the front USB-C port on the PlayStation 5. Next! Just trying to constantly find some kind of placement or angle that would make me look good in any way, and you're not even telling me that my hair looks like this. I thought I could trust you. I thought I could trust you. Now this one is cross-gen games, meaning PS4 games, being the ones played on the PS5, when you could be playing a PS5 version. Why would someone do that to themselves? So many of the PlayStation 4 games are playable on the PlayStation 5. There's over 4,000 PlayStation 4 titles, and all but 10 of them can be played on the PlayStation 5. Now, with that, some developers of these PlayStation 4 games also gave us a little bit of a gift, if you want to call it. They made PS5 versions of these PlayStation 4 games. So whether that's giving you better resolution, graphics, frame rates, they've made that for the PlayStation 5 owners. So you would expect that if you buy one of these PlayStation 4 games, or you transfer one of them over from your PlayStation 4 to your PlayStation 5, that you'd be playing the PlayStation 5 versions, right? Just me. And so the problem that people are facing is they're actually playing the PlayStation 4 versions on the PlayStation 5. One of my commenters from the last video said that I was playing Miles Morales in the PlayStation 4 version. Was I though? I checked and I wasn't. I was playing the PlayStation 5 version, but I had loading screens turned on in settings, which is something you can do in some of these games. Now, I can understand why this would be confusing, and so I'm here to show you how you can figure out whether you're playing the PS4 or the PS5 versions, and how to choose the PlayStation 5 versions. Because who wouldn't want that? Okay, so there's a couple ways to know whether you're playing the PlayStation 4 version or the PlayStation 5 version. So let's take Marvel's Spider-Man Remastered, for example. This is a game, the Marvel Spider-Man game, was released on the PlayStation 4 in 2018. Now, they've released a remastered version for the PlayStation 5, but you can still play a PlayStation 4 version. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to the game title at the very top there, the game icon. You're going to hit the options button, which is the button with the 3 lines at the top of your Dualsense controller, and you're going to scroll down to game version. Then you're going to hit the cross button. And from here you'll see the check mark beside the PlayStation 5 remastered version, as opposed to the PlayStation 4 Marvel Spider-Man, the regular edition. So if we take a look at a game like Need for Speed Hot Pursuit Remastered, this is a game that was released on PlayStation 4. So if you see at the end of the title, it says specifically PS4. So you can't choose a PlayStation 5 edition because there isn't one for this game. But if we were to go to something like, for example, Immortals Fenyx Rising, it doesn't say PlayStation 4 beside it. So what I'm going to do here is from this icon, I'm going to press the options button, which is the button with the 3 lines at the top of your controller. I'm going to go down to game version, and I'm going to click the cross button, which I will always affectionately call the X button because that's what it should be called. And I can see here there's 2 options, PlayStation 4 version or PlayStation 5 version. Checkmarked is the PlayStation 5 version, so I know that I'm playing the PS5 version of this game. But there's a chance that you may actually have, after you've downloaded this game from the PlayStation Store, you may have the PlayStation 4 version enabled. So if you take a look at Assassin's Creed Valhalla here, at the end of the title it says PlayStation 4. Now, in this case, it shows a download icon as well on the side, and below it says download. So I know that if I wanted to play the PlayStation 4 version, I could. But it's not going to be playing this one specifically now. So I'm going to press the options button, I'm going to go to game version, and I'm going to click on PS5 version, which is what I want to play, of course. So if I were to go to game version here, click on the PS4 version, at the end, it says PlayStation 4 version. Now, for Miles Morales specifically, I'm playing the actual physical or disc-based edition. So this is a Miles Morales disc that I have in my PlayStation 5, but it's a PlayStation 5 disc. It's not a PlayStation 4 disc. So I can't play the PS4 version. That's why there's like a padlock symbol there at the end. Just doing my research, has there even been a PlayStation launch that hasn't been chock full of bugs and issues? So we have to understand that no new console or hardware comes without bugs in the beginning, unfortunately. Do I think that they should have tested more and been more diligent before sending them out? We always think about hardware, but it never happens, does it? And that's just all tech. All products even. This is just how life goes. Mistakes are made, and they get fixed eventually. Maybe? So, should I buy a PS5 now, or should I wait? Well, I'd say that depends. I do not regret getting my PS5 on day one at all. I haven't had any major problems with mine, other than the noisy fan. Oh, and As a reminder, I will have a link for the first video on the fan noise fix linked in the description below. So for me, I'm very happy to be able to enjoy the PS5 right now. But someone else might feel differently, especially if they've had to send theirs in for repair. So if you want to play games like Spider-Man, Miles Morales, and the Demon's Souls remake right now in 60 frames per second at 4K, now's a good time to get that PlayStation 5. If you can find one. But if you don't really care about the graphics and the latest games that are out, or you don't want to possibly run into the issues that we spoke about in the video, then maybe waiting should be your choice. Plus, you still have a big library of over 4,000 PS4 games to choose from to tie you over until Sony fixes the issues on these consoles. And please, be a pal. Hit that subscribe button. Working our way, inching our way towards 1,000 subscribers, and that would just be the coolest thing. Imagine if we can get there before the end of the year. I think we could do it, you and me. We can do this together. So, until the next one, I've been Moshi. Yo, peace and love. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. I love you all. And I'm okay with that. I don't know where this is going. Peace!